Hello and welcome back to Marineford TCG. Welcome to the top 4 of the championships in Japan. And in this matchup, we see Purple Luffy against Blackbeard. So this Purple Luffy, I believe this is the same player that just defeated the Foxy in top 8. That was a really good game. Make sure you check that out. Really back and forth. One of the best games I've seen in a while. But right now we've got Blackbeard. So Blackbeard won the last CS in Hokkaido. And we'll see if they can bring it back in this one. This is the Purple Luffy's hand. Again, I'm not sure who's going first or second. His hand looks okay. We've got the Mr. 2 into the Luffy Taro, excuse me. Obviously looking for something to play off of this Luffy Taro. Playing the Nami, not great. Hand is not too bad into Blackbeard. He will be looking to shut off on plays, so this Luffy Taro might just have to come down as a vanilla, which is obviously not ideal. And the Onami probably won't get to draw any cards, but Kid is a decent card in this matchup, and the Mr. 2, if it can stick around, is easier said than done, will become a 12k swing into those big Blackbeard blockers. The Blackbeard player, we do see a Finger Gun Shigan, we do see a Black Hole event, we see a 2k, a Van Auger, and a Laboon. So no Doc Q, always nice to get the Doc Q early. But we do have the Finger Gun and the Black Hole to slow down the early aggression from the Purple Luffy. And we can play out the Laboon on curve, hopefully, which will be pretty nice. Reasonably hard for Luffy to deal with Laboon, especially without his on-plays. Impossible without his on-plays. But we'll see how this goes. So it looks like the Luffy player is going to go first. I imagine he got to choose that. Blackbeard not too sad about going second. And we do see him draw a Doc Q. So I might just choose to play that out for 2. I think that would be a pretty good play here. And we are going to see the Doc Q. Very clean. So as soon as next turn, he can go with Laboon and clear both whatever the Luffy plays. Luffy going to swing 5 at leader. Blackbeard's going to take that one. And then the Luffy's going to ramp, draws a Frenosuke. It's going to play out the Mr. 2. Rampadon. Pretty nice. And we will see the Blackbeard's turn. So I imagine we'll see the Laboon come out here. 5 into leader, 4 for Laboon, tap Doc Q, get rid of the Mr. 2. Seems pretty decent to me, and we might see him start to use the leader effect now. I can't imagine the Blackbeard is going to want the Luffy to get out a Luffy Taro combo. So we do see him ditch the Sanji to protect his life. We do see that combo of the Laboon and the Doc Q, really clean. And ditches the Black Hole to turn on the Black Hole leader effect. So no on plays for Luffy. Can play out the Luffy Taro, but it's just a 7 cost vanilla, so nothing too crazy. We'll see what he chooses to swing the leader into here. Obviously a tough decision. If you try and take out the Laboon, Blackbeard can counter. Blackbeard doesn't like to counter, but he can. We do see 7 into Laboon. That's definitely going to go down there. No way Blackbeard's giving you 2 cards to save a Laboon. And then we do see the Kid come out. So that's a nice play, I think. Blackbeard does still have the Doc Q. Can go with the Finger Gun here to just remove the Kid very efficiently. And then play out the Lafitte to get a little search off. Kills a Blackbeard and a Lafitte off the Finger Gun. Just going to see 5 at leader. Luffy might choose to take this. Doesn't have a lot in hand to work with. He's going to go to 9 Don by the looks of it. Just going to take that one. Seems fine to me. It's going to get a Sangoro. Sangoro's not too bad. Does get the Lafitte for the Blackbeard here, which is pretty nice. We do see a Blackbeard there. He might choose to grab that. Does look like he drew a Vasco shot for turn at some point, which is pretty good. You see the This Is My Age event. I imagine we're going to see the Blackbeard, but you never know. I'm not the most experienced with the Blackbeard deck. Outside of these commentary videos, I haven't really played it that much. Looks like he might be valuing the Lafitte over the Blackbeard, which is interesting to me. He is going to grab the Lafitte off the Lafitte. That's pretty interesting. Especially as we've seen one Blackbeard milled. Another hit the bottom deck's quite interesting. But regardless, looks like we're going to see the pitch of the Van Auger to turn off Luffy's on-play effects. Pretty nice there, and this Lafitte is going to act as a pseudo blocker. Luffy's definitely going to want to take out this Lafitte. Got the Blackbeard getting infinite value with that. But we'll see what he goes for here. Just going to take a drink. Let's get a Law Searcher. That's completely useless. So he's on 9. Yeah, these cards aren't doing a lot. These cards are not doing a lot. Going to see 5 into Lafitte. Lafitte goes down. Keeping it very simple. Might just see the Luffy Taro come out for no effect. Make a nice big body that's hard for Blackbeard to remove. Showing the nice graphic of Lafitte. I don't know much about this guy. I've only just finished Marineford in the anime. But I've met the Blackbeard pirates now. They seem pretty cool. Kind of a fan, but we'll see as the show goes on. But regardless, this Luffy player's thinking. He's thinking a lot. High stakes match here. Lots of money and cards on the line. Gonna go 5 for Sangoro and 4 for Onami. That's not too bad. Onami gonna be fairly easy for Blackbeard to get rid of. Sangoro, he does also have another finger gun, so he can just finger gun the Sangoro, which is pretty clean, I think, here. Gonna go. He's on 8, so he can go 7 with leader, 4 for finger gun, and 2 for the feet, or he can play out the Vasco shot as well, which is pretty nice. Nice little chump blocker there. Likely to ditch the Shiryu for the leader effect, I imagine. I'm going to assume he wants rid of this Sangoro ASAP. Yep, we do see the finger gun, get rid of the Sangoro, mills a Laboon and a black hole, nothing too crazy there. I think if he'd milled another one of those big block of Blackbeards, that could have been a pretty rough spot for him. Given that one of them's already in trash and one is hiding on the bottom of the deck now. After that, the feet search. We do see 1 for the feet and 1 more for the search. Imagine if we do see a Blackbeard here, he'll have to take it. But we don't. We do see a Jesus Burgess. That could be quite nice to get out on the next turn. And we do see him grab the Jesus Burgess. Pretty nice there. Might see 7 come out from Blackbeard leader. Not sure how valuable the Vasco shot play is going to be right now. Does actually have double Jesus Burgess, so he must have already had one. I couldn't see that in his hand. His arm was over it. Well, that was it. That must have been his draw for turn, actually. That must have been his draw for turn. 2 Jesus Burgess, really nice. Hard to interact with that card. Really hard. And his trash is building up. I'm afraid I don't know how many cards are in there. Going to be pretty tough unless they give us some kind of indication. But we're waiting to see if the Blackbeard goes 7 or 5. Going to go 7, keep the Vasco shot in hand. I think that seems good. Luffy's going to take that, gets another Usohachi, not drawing any good characters. And then, as expected, he ditches the Shiryu to turn on the black hole effect of his leader. Very nice. So the Onami can actually swing into the Lafitte, which is quite funny. It does obviously remove itself being a blocker. But might be worth it. Might be worth it for the value. Does get a blocker Law. I imagine he's at 10 here. But I'm really not seeing what great plays he's got. With no one plays, this purple Luffy deck's struggling. He is struggling. Blackbeard still at 4 life is pretty terrifying. 4 life, and he's on 10 on next turn, Blackbeard. Onami swings into the feet, and Luffy swings into life. Blackbeard's going to take that. Really need to see cards here. Excuse me. Gets a stronger 2k. That's like a Tsuru with extra steps. You play it, and then activate main. You trash it. Trash 1 card from hand. Then you give -2 to something, and then you draw a card. It is leader locked to Blackbeard, so don't get any crazy effects. You can't play that in your other decks. This is just a 4/5 blocker. Plays out double Usohachi and Law. Choosing to go wide here, which is pretty amusing. See what the Blackbeard player drew for his turn. Can't see. I can't tell what the Blackbeard player drew. Looks like he's eyeing up 2 Jesus Burgess, which is pretty good. Double Jesus, not too bad at all. Might see him swing into the Onami, just to remove that from the board. Next turn, opponent going to have a lot of 5s coming out. Do see the Onami get removed. Do see the Jesus. Do see another Jesus. Do see 2 for Vasco shot. And then we'll see a ditch on the... What's he got? He's got a stronger and a Shiryu. Yep, ditches the Shiryu for the leader effect. So Luffy likely going to be able to get him down to 1 here, which is a pretty spooky spot for the Blackbeard to be in. I do think if he had one of those Blackbeard blockers from earlier, I think he'd be in a bit of a better spot here. Would have been able to remove or deny the law from attacking and then block a spoon for free. But we'll see. Blackbeard is going to be threatening lethal on the next turn with this double Jesus Burgess. Is very scary. Goes 5 at leader and he takes. Does get a blocker Blackbeard, so that's going to be pretty nice. That is going to be pretty nice. Luffy got all 10 Don left. All 10. See what he wants to do here. Doesn't have anything too crazy in hand. Could play out Onami and Sangoro, but I imagine he's going to want to try and get a bunch of 5s in here, which he'd need at least 4 Don here. Could just play out the Sangoro and swing 5-5-6. That could be quite good. Eat the 2k, a life, and the Vasco shot blocker, and still be able to play the Sangoro. We are going to see the 6k come out. Going to use the stronger 2k to get out of that one. So likely we'll see one of these swings eat a life and one of them eat the Vasco shot blocker. Very much doubt Blackbeard's going to want to go down to 0 life. We do see another 6 come out. See if he chooses to block or if he chooses to take. He's going to take. It's a Hachinosu. Not a great draw there. That doesn't have counter. And then got 4 Don left. Could play out either an Onami blocker or just swing 9. I think regardless, this swing is going to eat the Vasco shot blocker. Again, I very much doubt he's going to want to go down to 0. But he could. He might prove me wrong. Does eat the Vasco shot blocker as expected. And then we see an Onami blocker. Very nice. So, Jesus Burgess, I've got no idea how big he is. I'm guessing he's at least 9k by now. We've seen quite a lot of trash action from this Blackbeard. Does get the big blocker Blackbeard, of course. Can deny one thing from attacking. See where this 5 is going. 5 looks like it might be going into Usohachi. He's thinking about it. Yeah, that's... I think that was like 16k, so I'm guessing these Jesuses are 9 each. Crashes the Hachinosu for leader effect. And then Jesus Burgess is going to attack into Law. Yep, very nice. Pretty tough spot for Luffy here, because that big blocker Blackbeard is going to come out. Yep, Judge reminding him to return the Don. Big issue, but here we are. If this last Jesus Burgess wants to swing either into the Usohachi or into life. Might go into life just to guarantee the be able to go for game on the next turn. Looks like he's taking out the Usohachi though. 4, 8, 12, 16. So yeah, this Jesus Burgess is a 9k swing. Pretty crazy for 4 pack Don worth of investment, and it's a 9k swing. That's pretty ridiculous. One fun thing I also only learnt recently is you can just trash infinite cards with your Blackbeard leader effect to buff your Jesus Burgess. You can use this more than once, which is quite funny. You choose to block there with the Onami, and then the Blackbeard is going to deny the Usohachi from attacking, and then it will block whatever the leader swing is. And I guess if it's 15 it won't, but I very much doubt it will be 15. Although it could be. Could be get him down to 0 and then try and win the game next turn with the Franosuke rush, potentially. But yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure about that one. Not got a ton of options. If he swings any less than 12, Blackbeard just blocks it. I feel like he might just swing 15. 15 could be good. But I think regardless, he's in a spot, because these Jesuses are 9 each. Might have to swing 15 into Jesus. Nope, gonna go with Luffy Taro. 3 Don up. For fun. And he's bluffing a lot of Gum Gum Giants. We know he doesn't have any. Blackbeard player doesn't know he doesn't have any though. We do see a Lafitte and a Hachinosu in his hand. Don't think he has a lot of choices though. I think he kind of has to go for game. He's got 4 meaningful swings. I doubt we'll see him swing with the dot Q. Yep, there's the highlight of the Gum Gum Giant. This is a 4K counter that crashes 1 and draws 2. Ridiculous card. This is crazy. We thought Rad Beam was wild. Gum Gum Giant's next level. I'm so hyped for that to get to the West. It's going to be so cool. I'm really looking forward to it. We are going to see the Burgess come out. Swinging. But for how much? Currently 9, I believe. He does have all 10 done. Could do something like 11, 11, 11, 12. I imagine starting with a 9 is pretty good, because that would, if he did have Gum Gum Giants, that would 100% be 1 Gum Gum Giant and 1 card, which is pretty good. And then he just needs the last 3 to go through. We obviously know he's bluffing, and if he does swing 9 and our friend over here takes, or gives him his entire hand, he obviously then knows that's the case. He's going to swing 7. Interesting that he took that. See what he gets there. He does get a Mr. 2. I feel like he should have countered that with a Frenosuke and one of these 1Ks here. That's going to make our Blackbeard friends math a lot easier. You see 11. And that's another take. Does get a... what is that? That's a 2K. And then the rest of the dong can just go on the Blackbeard, and that's going to be the game wrapped up there. He just doesn't want to make... he wants to make sure he doesn't get his math wrong. You never know how many Gum Gum Giants are in this player's hand. I mean, we do, but this Blackbeard player doesn't. You'll see 13 from Jesus. And then the penny's going to drop. There's no Gum Gum Giants, and that's the game. So shout out to this Blackbeard player. Congratulations on their win in the top 4, I believe this is, of the finals out there in Japan. Pretty crazy. Another Blackbeard in the finals. What a time to be alive. This leader really making some waves. Second, then first, and he's back in finals again. Can Blackbeard win the tournament? We'll have to wait to find out, but we'll have the English commentary of the next VOD, which will be the finals, out as soon as I can. Shout out to these players. Both these players, the Blackbeard player and the Purple Luffy player, played this game really well. Really good to see. Really love seeing more Blackbeard play. I'm looking forward to playing him myself. So, nice to get some tips from the pros. But either way, if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see the finals, make sure you subscribe. I'll have the finals out before you know it. And make sure you also check out the original VOD for the official gameplay with the Japanese commentary. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.